Hey YouTube yoga friends, I hope you are well. Today we are going to be doing a full body strengthening yoga flow. I was going to say strengthening from head to toe, but that might be a bit of an exaggeration, maybe from like shoulders to toes. If you are new around here, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to practice again with me in the future. And if you do enjoy this video, I would be super duper grateful if you could give it a big thumbs up and maybe leave a comment letting me know what you thought. As always in this class, just listen to your body. If it ever gets too much, then you can just put me on pause, take a break. Everything I say is optional. So to begin today, we're actually starting standing up. Coming to stand near the top of our mats, bringing the feet to hip width apart, spreading through the toes, and maybe rocking from side to side and from front to back, feeling all 10 toes and every side of the feet connecting to the earth beneath you. Bring your attention up to your legs, slightly lifting the kneecaps, engaging the quads, and drawing the tailbone down towards the earth. Find some length through both sides of the waist, so lifting up and out through the torso, gliding the shoulder blades down the back as you lift the chest up towards the sky. Notice the alignment of your head and neck, so is your head stacking over your heart, which is stacking over your hips, over your knees, over your ankles. You might tuck the chin in just slightly to find a little bit of length down the back of the neck. And just start to notice your breath here. So if you're not already, you can start to breathe in and out through the nose, filling up the belly with every inhale. And contracting the core slightly on every exhale, squeezing out every last drop of air. Start to make the breath smoother, deeper, longer, slower. And keep this connection to your breath throughout our practice. Use the breath as an indicator of whether you've gone too far. As you're ready, fill the lungs with air as you sweep both arms up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana, reaching those fingertips up towards the sky, maybe taking it into a teeny tiny little back bend. It's still very early in our practice here. Take another deep breath in. Can you grow even taller? And as you release that air, send the left arm forward and the right arm back, twisting over to the right. Both hip bones face forwards like two headlights on a car, just twisting from the upper spine here. Fingertips are nice and active, reaching away from each other in opposite directions. On your next breath in, sweep both arms up to the sky and release the air as you twist over to the other side, imagining like there's a piece of string on the tip of each fingertip, drawing them to opposite sides of the room. Full cycle of breath here. Fill the lungs with air, sweep those arms up and release that air. This time, cactus those arms, drawing the elbows down in towards the ribs. Full cycle of breath here. Inhale, puffing that chest up even higher towards the sky. And exhaling, maybe go a teeny little bit further into the back bend. Deep breath in, reach those arms up, release the air, twist to the right. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, sweep them up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale to the right for the last time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to the left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, cactus. This time, inhale, arms up. Exhale, bring the hands to interlace behind the lower back, and then puff that chest up towards the sky as you draw the hands down towards the earth. Inhale, get a little bit taller, then exhale, bend the knees deeply, hinge from the hips, drape the torso down over the thighs as you let the hands drop down towards the earth. Start to bend and straighten one leg at a time, tapping each shoulder in towards each knee as you go. Are you still connected to your breath? Now release that clasp of the hands, let them fall down towards the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, press the hands into the shins, draw the chest forwards and the shoulders back. Exhale, fold, maybe bending and straightening the legs again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, flat back, nice long spine. Exhale, fold down. This time, place both hands on the mat, spread through the fingers, then step 1 foot at a time to the back of the mat, drop down onto the knees, and then lower all the way down to the belly. Inhale, lift the chest, cobra. Exhale, release. Tuck into the toes, press up onto the knees, then straighten the legs, heels reach down towards the earth, landing in our downward facing dog. Spend a few moments here pedaling out through the legs, opening up through the calves, the hamstrings, and pressing the floor away from you with your hands. On your next inhale, come up onto the toes, bend deeply into the knees, and then either step or hop to the top of the mat. Come up to a halfway lift and release into your fold. Bend the knees, inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky, exhale, straight back down. Fill the lungs with air, come up to a flat back, and release the air as you plant the hands, step it back to plank. This time, you could drop down to the knees again, or you could work down through a Chaturanga, inhaling to upward facing dog, exhaling to downward facing dog. Full cycle of breath here. Maybe sigh it out through the mouth. Inhale, come up onto the toes, feel that nice stretch as you press back into the knees, and then exhale, hop or step forwards. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Bend the knees, fill the lungs with air, reach up to the sky, and release that air as you drop back down into your fold. One last sun salutation, inhaling to lift, exhaling, stepping it back to plank, working through the knees or through Chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest, exhale, maybe roll over the toes as you make your way back to downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg high, exhale, draw the knee in towards the nose, step that foot through between the hands, and then drop that back knee down. Inhale, reach the fingertips up towards the sky, exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, reach the arms up, exhale, cactus those arms. Inhale, reach them up, exhale, take the left hand to the mat, sweep the right arm up to the sky, then tuck under the back toes if they're not already, pick up the back knee, lift that knee off the mat. Here we are in our twist. Inhale, reach those fingertips even further up towards the sky. Exhale, bring that hand back down, step it back to plank, straight back to downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the left toes up towards the sky. Exhale, knee towards the nose. Glue that foot onto the earth. Drop that back knee down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, twisting to the left. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, extend. Exhale, place the right hand down left hand lifts, and then lift that back knee off, opening through the chest here as we find a little bit of strength in the legs. Inhale, reach even taller, and release that air, frame the foot, back to plank, and then back to downward facing dog. Rock your way forwards to plank on your next inhale, then lift the right hand off the mat, tap the left shoulder, place it back down, switch sides. Now keep going like this at your own pace, warming up through the arms and the wrists, finding some strength here. And try and keep the hips nice and stable here. So they're going to move a little bit, but try not to swing them too much from side to side. And if it ever gets too much, you can just come back to holding your plank. You can come down onto the knees. Let's do this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then roll it back to downward facing dog. Drop down onto the forearms, landing in our dolphin pose. You might start to walk the feet further in towards the elbows, drawing the heels in the direction of the earth. Press into the elbows here, lift up and out of the shoulders. And either one elbow at a time or both at once, can you press your way back up to downward facing dog? Back down to dolphin, back up to dog, back to dolphin, dog. Once again, keep going like this, back and forth between your dolphin and your dog. Or holding one or the other if it ever gets too much. Do it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back in downward facing dog. Lengthen the stance if you shortened it. Take a full cycle of breath here to recover, inhaling through the nose and maybe sighing it out through the mouth. Inhale, sweep the right leg high. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the nose. Step that foot between the hands. Now spin the back heel down onto the floor. Front heel bisects the back arch. Then we rise our way up, landing in our warrior two. Sinking down deeply into that front leg, keeping the knee in line with the second toe of the front foot and pressing into the outer edge of the back foot. Can you sink even deeper than you want to? Really finding the strength in the legs and stacking the heart over the hips and the head over the heart. Gaze can be out to the side or over those fingertips, whichever feels best on your neck. Let's inhale, sink even deeper. Exhale, take it back into a reverse warrior. Take another inhale here. Exhale, can you stretch back even further? Inhale, take it back to your warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Then straighten that front leg, bump the hips back, send the chest forwards and down, landing in our Trikonasana, triangle pose. Notice whether you're locking out of that front leg, find a micro bend in the front knee, and see if you can keep that bottom hand hovering off the mat to find some strength in the core here. Inhale, extend that left arm forwards towards the front of the mat. Then maybe reach the right arm forwards too. Imagine like you're holding a big beach ball in between your hands, finding some strength in the obliques here. And then can you reach that beach ball up overhead, keeping the front leg straight, and then back into your warrior two. Take it into the reverse as you inhale, then exhale, windmill those arms, step it back to a three-legged plank, so right leg stays hovering off the mat, then hook the right toes over the top of the left ankle. So on that bone that's sticking out on the back of the left ankle, can you hook the first and second toe of the right foot over that bumpy bit? And then can you maybe work down through Chaturanga, keeping that toe hooked, back to downward dog, keeping the hook, then sweep the right leg high, drop it back down. Full cycle of breath here. Inhale through the nose. And maybe release it through the mouth. Inhale, sweep the left leg high. Exhale, step that foot through, glue it down onto the earth, spin the right heel down to the floor, rise your way up into a warrior two. Get settled here. Check in with all those points of alignment. Is your right foot pressing into the outer edge, pressing into the earth? Are you sinking down into that left thigh, finding some strength in the quads? Inhale here, exhale, reverse. Full cycle of breath here. Inhale back to warrior two, exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two, exhale, reverse. Now inhale, warrior two, exhale, reverse. Finally, inhale, warrior two, then straighten that front leg, bump the hips back, send that right arm up towards the sky as the left arm reaches down towards the earth, maybe keeping the left hand hovering off the mat as we find some strength through the legs and the torso in our triangle. Extend that right arm towards the front of the room. Then maybe bring the left arm to meet it, finding our core triangle here. And then maybe bring that beach ball up towards the sky. Exhale back to your warrior two. Inhale, reverse. And then frame the foot. Step it back to your three-legged plank. Find the hook of the left toes over the back of the right ankle here. And then maybe work down through a Chaturanga, keeping that hook on the toe, and then pressing it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the left leg high. Exhale, drop it back down to the mat. Inhale, rock your way forward to plank. Now drop down onto the knees, lift the feet off the mat so the feet are drawing in towards your glutes, and we're going to work through some Chaturanga push-ups from our knees. So adjust your stance if you notice that your elbows are not stacking above the wrists when you come down. So when you come down, we want there to be a nice right angle between the elbow and the wrist and the shoulder. So if you've got a mirror nearby, it might be useful to have a look to check your alignment here. So we're going to do 10 Chaturanga push-ups. If you feel like doing them from your feet with the knees lifted, you can do so, but I don't think I can do 10 that way. So at your own pace, let's begin. So keeping the elbows close in towards the body rather than flaring out. For me, this is 8, 9, and 10. Oh, meet us back in child's pose once you've done your 10. That really does get the arms burning, for me at least. Whew. As you're ready, rock back forwards onto the knees. Bring the hips to stack over the knees. shoulders over elbows over wrists, and let's just take a little moment working through some cat-cow. Inhaling to lift the chest, exhaling to round. Inhale, lift, exhale, round, make it fluid. Inhale, lift, exhale, round. Last time, inhale, lift, exhale, round. Now come back to a neutral position and finding a little bit of strength in the wrists. Let's rock back and forwards here. Wrists can be quite fragile, so just take it to the edge of the stretch in your body. Now turn the fingertips towards the outside edges of the mat and rock from side to side here, finding some strength and stretch at the same time. Turn the fingertips towards you, wrists pressing into the mat, rocking back and forth. Now place the backs of the hands on the floor, fingertips point towards you, thumbs are on the inside, and rock back and forth once again. Helping us strengthen and stretch the wrists while we give the rest of our body a little bit of a break, recover our breath if we lost our connection to it, turn those fingertips to face one another, rock from side to side. Now come up off the hands, rise up onto the shins, and just give the arms a little bit of a shake out. Place those hands back down on the mat, step the feet back to plank and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg high, exhale, right knee in towards the nose, step it through between the hands. Inhale, sweep both arms up towards the sky, and let's hold our crescent lunge here for 5 deep breaths. Once again, can you bring that front thigh even closer towards the earth? Squeezing that back glute as you press the back heel towards the back of the mat. One more deep breath. Now bring the hands together at prayer. Put all your weight onto your right foot. Launch your way forwards into a warrior 3. You can extend your arms out in front if you've got the space, and let's take some little pulses on that right leg. So just little baby bends through the right knee. You can bring the hands down to the earth for a bit of support. And extend that knee once again, straighten that front leg, and take some jiva squats. So tucking the left knee in behind the right calf, straighten and tuck. Inhale to extend, whoop, exhale to tuck down. Hands can be on the earth or at heart center for an extra challenge. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, extend back into your warrior 3. Drop the left toes back towards the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, frame the foot. Work your way through a 3-leg chaturanga, keeping the right leg lifted this time. Inhaling to upward facing dog, staying on the left toes. Exhaling, 3-legged dog, and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee towards the nose. Glue that foot down between the hands. Inhale, sweep the arms high, and then settle in to your crescent lunge for 5 deep breaths. Drawing the left hip back and the right hip forwards. You can lengthen the stance for an extra challenge here. One more breath. Then bring those hands to prayer. Launch forwards into your warrior 3. Extending the arms out in front if you can. or if you have the space, and then taking some little pulses with that left leg. Extend back into your warrior three and then take your Jiva squats. Right knee tucking in towards the left calf, hands at prayer, or reaching down to the earth. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend back to warrior three, drop it back to your high lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, frame the front foot, step it back to your three-legged plank, and maybe work through your three-legged Chaturanga, sweeping the toes up towards the sky, and then dropping them back down into your downward facing dog. Inhale, rock up onto the toes, then walk the hands in just slightly, and maybe you find the jump through landing in a seated position. Whoop, maybe that was successful, maybe not. Either way, joining us, sat down on your bum. Let's lift the toes off the mat, shins come to parallel, hands either holding behind the backs of the legs or extending straight out long, landing in our boat pose. Keeping the chest nice and open here, taking some toe taps, tapping one toe at a time down towards the earth. You can bring the legs back to parallel, or you can fully extend, straightening them each time for a little extra challenge. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to boat pose, maybe straightening the legs, and either with the legs straight or bent, bring the hands to heart center, then tap the fingers to the left and then to the right, to the left, to the right. Keep it going between each side. What would a full body strength class be without some core strengthening? Keep going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to boat pose. Maybe reach the hands up to the sky and then take it into low boat. Hands either down by your sides or up overhead. Back to boat pose. Back to low boat. Boat. Low boat. Boat. Low boat. And then hold your low boat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then drop back down onto your back. Whew. Give the knees a little squeeze in, give yourself a hug, recapture the breath if you've lost your connection to it. Now extend the legs straight up towards the sky. You can tuck the thumbs underneath your hips or your glutes and then start to lower the legs down towards the earth, going slowly, keeping it slow and controlled, bringing them to hover, holding here, and then slowly reaching them back up towards the sky, drawing that lower back into the earth. Hold at the top, then slowly lower back down. See if I can beat you down. Can you go even slower than me? Hold at the bottom, hovering, and then slowly lift them back up towards the sky. Pause at the top, catch your breath, slowly lower. Pause, hovering at the bottom. Lift them back up to the sky, slowly, slowly, slowly. One more time. Did that remind anyone else of the song that goes, one more time, or just me? Hover at the bottom. And then slowly back to the top for the last time. Hug those knees into the chest. Give yourself a big squeeze, feeling proud of yourself for firing up the core, feeling the struggle and persisting through it. Now, if possible, you're going to wrap the fingers around the big toes. So thumbs are on the toenails and then your two first fingers are wrapping around the toes. Then maybe extend those legs to straight, or they can be bent. Can you rock back and then lunge your way back up in a boat pose, holding onto the toes. Rock back and then back up. You can keep the legs straight as you rock back and keep them straight as you rock up. I don't have the space to keep them straight. I'll be kicking the door if I straighten my legs on the way back, so I'm bending them, but if you want to try the challenge of keeping them straight, you can. One more time. See, kick to the door just like I said. Rock back up, either keeping them bent or straightening them up towards the sky. Now can you release the grip on the toes and keep the legs lifted? 2 more breaths in our boat pose here. Maybe reach the arms up to the sky. And then plant the feet down on the ground. Lift yourself up, landing in a chair pose. Yes, that was quite mean of me. Sinking down deeply into those legs, but making sure we can still see our toes as we sink down. Hands can be at heart centre or reaching up to the sky for an extra challenge. 3 more deep breaths here. One more breath. And release. Straighten those legs, land in a fold, maybe bend and straighten one leg at a time. And then just an option here is to plant those hands on the mat. Bring the knees up onto the backs of the arms and land in a crow pose, lifting one leg at a time or both together up off the mat, drawing the heels in towards the glutes. Hold your crow, keep it flying. If you fall out, you can just join us, come back in. And now maybe, can you shoot those legs to the back of the mat, finding a land in a Chaturanga? Inhaling to upward facing dog, exhaling to downward facing dog. Don't know about you guys, but I am absolutely sweating right now, so if you are too, you're not alone. Take a full cycle of breath in your downward facing dog. Now walk those hands back towards the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Then exhale, bring the hands to the hips. Turn to face the long edge of the mat. Step the feet out wide. Heels point in, toes point out. Take a moment, wiggling out through the hips, adjusting your shorts if you need to, like me. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands through heart centre, sink down into those legs. Wouldn't be a full body strength class without a good old yogi squat. Finding that strength in the quads here. Now lift the right heel off the mat, coming up onto the toes, finding the strength in that right calf, and then drop that heel back down. Lift up onto the left toes, hold, and then drop back down. Lift up onto both toes, drop back down, and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, straighten those legs. Wiggle the hips from side to side. Now heel toe the toes in towards one another. Coming up onto the toes, balancing here on our tippy toes. Can you come up even higher, right onto the edge of those toes? Now staying on your tiptoes, I'll turn to the side so you can see me. Can you bend into the knees, bring the hands to heart center and sink your way down into a toe balance? Landing with your bum resting on your heels, keeping a nice tall spine here. I did say from neck to toe, so here's our little bit of strength in our toes. Hold here. If you fall out, just come and meet us once again. Now staying on the toes, can you inhale, sweep the arms up, then exhale, bring the left hand to the right knee, right hand hooks around the outside of the left hip, finding a twist. Use your next breath in to sweep the arms up overhead and your next breath out to twist over to the other side. Fill the lungs with air, sweep those arms up and then drop down onto the knees. Inhale, lift the hips up off the knees, coming onto the shins. Then exhale, take it back into a camel pose. Hands either reaching for the heels, you can tuck onto the toes like this. You can have the hands on the lower back like that. Lots of options here in our camel. And release. Come back out of your camel pose. Place those hands on the mat. Step it back to plank. Maybe work through a Chaturanga. Inhaling to upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Rock your way into plank on your next inhale. Then drop forwards to a forearm plank. Placing the forearms down on the mat. Shoulders stacking over the elbows. Wrists and elbows in parallel lines here, gazing down in between the fingertips. Really press those elbows into the mat. Now start to pedal the knees down towards the earth, bending and straightening one leg at a time. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now can you bring the right knee to tap towards the right armpit and take it back. Other side, take it back. To the right, take it back. To the left, take it back. Right, back, left, back. One more time, to the right and to the left. Hold your plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop down into a Sphinx pose. Draw those shoulder blades towards one another as you lift the collarbones, lift the chest, shining the heart forwards. Now slide the hands back so they're in line with the ribs. Press yourself into a cobra pose. Get as high as you can without muscling into the hands. So to test that you're using the strength of the back, let's all lift our hands off the mat and see if we can keep that height. Just using the strength of the back, can you lift even higher? Can you lift those feet to hover off the mat, engaging the glutes to lift the legs off the floor? And maybe extend those arms out long in front of you and then draw the elbows in. So finding our cactus arms, extending and drawing back. Keep it going. You can take any of the options that I just presented. Maybe you're just waiting in your Sphinx. And now draw those elbows in, hold. Can you lift even higher? Can you lift higher with every single breath? Maybe you're shaking, I'm shaking. One more breath. and release. Stack one hand on top of the other, rest your forehead down on the mat or on top of your hands. Slide those hands back underneath the shoulders, tuck up onto the toes, press back either via the knees or via plank, and back to downward facing dog. Inhale here, and sigh it out through the mouth. Inhale, rock your way forwards back into a plank. Now put all your weight on your left hand, roll onto the outer edge of the left foot, sweep the right arm up towards the sky, side plank. Extend the right arm towards the front of the mat, lift the right leg to hover, and then tap the elbow to the knee. Extend and tap, keep it going. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, extend and hold. Can you lift that leg even higher? And then place that hand down, roll straight onto the other side. Lifting the left hand up towards the sky, micro bending that right elbow, then extend the left arm forwards, lift the left leg to hover, and tap the elbow to the knee. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, extend and hold, lift that leg even higher, roll back to plank and back to downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. One last time, inhale, rock your way forwards to plank, bend those elbows, drop all the way down onto the belly, then press into the arms. Push the hips back towards the heels, landing in either a narrow-legged or a wide-legged child's pose. You can stack one hand on top of the other, creating a little pillow for your head to rest on. Deep breaths here. Can you feel your breath being reflected back from the mat? Press into the hands, lift yourself back up, swing those legs around in front of you. Plant the feet on the mat, bring the fingertips to point towards the toes, root them down into the earth, then lift the hips up towards the sky. Last bit of strength here, I promise. Finding the strength through the arms, the shoulders, the core, and then swing the bum in between the hands. Inhale, lift the hips to the sky. Exhale, swing them through. Inhale, lift. Exhale, swing. Inhale, lift. Now exhale, swing, and can you lift the toes off the mat? Oop. Maybe give it another try. And plonk yourself back down, landing on the mat. Scoot the bum up towards the heels, then extend those hands out long. No more boat poses, I promise. And roll yourself down onto the mat. Give the knees a big squeeze. And let's take some well-deserved cool down stretches. Keep the right knee hugging in towards the chest, then extend that left leg straight and just start to take some circles with that right knee. Rocking it from side to side, mobilising through the hips here. Now bring the hands to the back of that leg, start to walk them up as you draw that leg in towards your face, keeping the toes flexed, You might pause to take some circles with the ankle in both directions. Then reflex that foot as you draw the leg in towards you. Now bring the left hand to the outside edge of the right foot or just to the right knee, and then guide that right leg over towards the left hand side, finding a supine twist and stretching through the outside edge of that right leg. Keep both shoulders rooted down into the earth here. Unravel, unwind, and bring that right ankle to cross over the front of the left knee. Thread the hands around to grab behind either the left thigh or the left shin, and then start to draw that left knee in towards you, pushing the right knee away, using the right elbow, and keeping the right foot nice and flexed, nice and active. Unravel, keeping hold of the left knee, extend the right leg down to the mat and start to take those circles with the left knee, rocking it from side to side, just finding what feels good. Now bring those hands around the back of the leg, start to walk them up as you bring the leg closer towards the body, maybe taking some circles with the ankle in both directions, then keeping that foot flexed as you draw the leg closer in towards the body. Now bring the right hand either to the left knee or to the outside edges of the left foot, and then draw that leg across to the right hand side, stretching through the outside edge of the left leg and finding a nice twist in the spine. Gaze can be wherever is comfortable here, so either to the left or up to the sky, it is up to you. Unravel yourself, cross that left ankle over the right knee, thread the arms either behind the thigh or around the shin, and then keeping the hips and the shoulders rooted into the earth, draw that right leg in towards you as you push the left leg away from you. Notice how this side maybe feels different from the other side. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Just can be interesting to notice sometimes. Now release the cross of the legs, keep hold of the right knee and then bring the left knee to join it, giving yourself another hug, another big squeeze. Bring the hands to the knees, start to take the knees in big circles in opposite directions. And then switch directions of the circles. Now bring the hands to the inside or the outside edges of the feet, finding your happy baby, however feels most comfortable for you. Drawing the thighs down towards the earth as you push the feet up towards the sky. You might find movement here, or maybe it is stillness that is calling to you today. Maybe you straighten one leg at a time. Maybe you straighten both legs. That's just me knocking the door once again. A bit of a habit I have there. Release from your happy baby and find the Savasana that is most comfortable for you today. So maybe coming into a Supta Baddha Konasana, maybe coming into constructive rest pose, maybe coming into the traditional Shavasana, grabbing any props that you need to make yourself comfy, maybe getting a nice blanket or something like that. So I said strengthening from head to toe might have been an exaggeration, but laying here in our Shavasana takes a lot of mental strength. So you've strengthened from the tips of your toes up to your shoulders in the movement part of the yoga class. And now we're strengthening our mind in the stillness. You have the mental strength to be still and accepting of whatever is going on for you right now. Whatever thoughts are in your brain, whatever resistance there is to this stillness, you are strong. You are capable of handling it. You are capable of working through that resistance, of accepting that your mind might be busy and wild with non-stop thoughts. We'll spend a few well-earned moments here in silence. If your mind has wandered, if you've gone off down a train of thoughts, that is okay. Just bring your attention back to your body, to your breath, to the air around you. Noticing the space where your body ends and the air around you begins. Noticing the places where your body connects to the surface beneath you. As you're ready, slowly start to bring some gentle movement back to the body. Maybe it's wiggling the fingers and the toes. Maybe you circle the ankles and the wrists. Maybe you find a big full body stretch up overhead before rolling onto whichever side is calling to you today. Take a moment here on your side and then use the hands to press you back up to a comfortable seated position. Keeping the eyes closed if that feels comfortable. Bring the hands together and start to rub the hands, creating some friction, creating some warmth, some heat. Feel that warmth building. Feel how you are capable of creating energy, of unlocking energy. Keep rubbing. And then seal in the effects of your practice. Seal in that energy, pressing the hands over the eyes. And release the hands. Open the eyes if they're not already. And that is you done with your full body strengthening, including the mind, yoga class. If you enjoyed it, like I said at the start, I would be super duper grateful if you could leave it a like so that I know you enjoyed it. Maybe comment letting me know what you thought, and subscribe so that we can practice together again in the future. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your day, and hopefully I'll be seeing you again soon.